Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 479. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Mr. Man with the glasses. Hello, Crash, Mr. Too Fresh Crash. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing all right.
I can see.
I can see, and you can see what I can see.
There's a bit of glare.
Yeah.
Did you forget the anti-glare?
No, why would I me forget? Never. I never.
How much would it cost? You know how much anti-glare costs?
I have no clue. I assume it would have been like 10 or 20 bucks at most, which I would have done if I thought of it.
To be fair, look at my glasses right now. Oh, this is so good for the audio listener, right? I have anti-glare on it. It still glares. Not as bad. Not as like, now it's fine. But yeah. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, man. Don't feel bad. It's okay.
I still feel bad.
I'd feel bad too.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight about my glasses. I'm holding them in my hand, clutched to my chest, just crying.
Me and my glasses. I can see with them, but they're glary. No. And of course, the man on the ones and twos, Mr. Paul Despawn.
My glasses are also glary. It doesn't matter because I don't look directly at the light.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The more I saw you post about the Elgato prompter update, and now I am on the cusp.
Mate,
I'm on the cusp. Elgato, holler at your boy, man. Jesus, holler at your boy, please, because I am on the cusp.
I'm just saying, I've never seen Elgato sponsor a podcast before.
I have many.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying they could fit in one more then.
I agree.
This will be the unprompted marketing part of the podcast. But yeah, no, I tested it out. For those that don't know what we're talking about, Elgato have just released an update for their prompter, which basically means it scrolls based on your voice. So it just auto scrolls as you talk. So it just goes at your speed rather than you having to rush it. And chef's kiss.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. I can imagine. Boys, this is episode 400 and I closed my show notes. 47. If you don't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. You can get early over on patreon.com/MCFixer. Support us financially if you like. If you like the show, I cannot stress more. Now is the time to support us. Patreon.com/MCFixer, or consider becoming a member on YouTube or a Twitch sub over on the Twitch channel. Any podcast reviews, Crash? We'll do it at the top of the show today. Any podcast reviews from you Americans? You got anything?
Let me pull it up. I was unprepared for this right now.
Yeah, I know. We usually do it like right at the end. So for people who don't know, we read out the podcast reviews. I have none. The UK has let me down once again. Why am I not surprised?
No reviews over here, but you know what? I think, America on the podcast reviews gets a week break.
Sure, fine. Well, this week we'll allow it. Other than that, let's jump into the topic of the show, boys. Topic of the show this week: the Minecraft movie has had its first teaser, trailer. I don't know what they're calling these ones nowadays. Let's talk about what we think. It is obviously starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa. A Minecraft movie is slated for a release in theaters April 5th, 2025. Me and Despawn literally just watched the trailer before doing the podcast. You watched it before, so you've been allowed to sit with your thoughts a little bit longer. So we'll go to you first, Crash. What do you think of this brand new movie from Xbox? Wait, let me build it up for you. Sony have had successes, whether you like it or not, with Uncharted. They've had successes with The Last of Us. We've had films like Resident Evil, which has been up and down. We have had Final Fantasy films, not live action. Have we ever live action one? Yeah, we did back in the day, right?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
it's an anime one and then a CGI one.
The CGI one's the thing, like one I was probably thinking.
Yeah.
So lots of big video game franchises. What's the one I'm missing? I missed Tomb Raider,
Borderlands,
Sonic,
obviously.
Borderlands. Okay, yeah.
Borderlands is a great one to bring up.
It's a great one to bring up.
Fantastic, because I'm very excited for Minecraft the Borderlands movie. It's gonna be fantastic. Do big numbers in the box office. Randy Pitchford won't block you if you're negative about this one, I imagine.
I'm sure he won't. Maybe Phil Spencer will, though. Maybe he will. Maybe. You don't know.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
I thought it was not my type of humor. Just going like straight up, it's not my type of humor, so I'm already going to be put off by it. But then everything else on top of it, it just kind of seemed atrocious to me. I think that's the nicest way I could put it.
What do you mean by everything else on top of it?
The live action people in the cubed up CGI world looked bad. The cubed up CGI world looked bad. Nothing meshed together. It didn't look appealing in any sense. Like that as a commercial for some mobile game, I could see it being a banger commercial. As a movie, I don't know how you can form a hour-plus movie out of what I saw from that trailer.
Okay. All right. Very to the point. I appreciate that. Great. D-Spawn.
Hi.
What do you think of Minecraft, the Minecraft movie, or Minecraft the movie? I don't know what the kids are calling it. What do you think?
I think it's quite possibly one of the most horrific things I've seen this year.
Wildlands came out this year.
I've not seen it, so it's fine. Okay. But no, what I mean is the character designs, the animation, it's awful. Specifically the animal designs, like the pink sheep and the llamas and stuff. It's that weird, it's like someone's basically, my opinion, and I'm not saying this because I hate AI. We know my opinions on generative AI, but it looks like someone's typed make a pink sheep, but make it super realistic and square into AI, and that's what's popped out. It does a bit.
Okay.
And it's just like,
so.
I don't know, man. It's like, those over the top animated, make me a CGI realistic sheep that's pink.
I think I'm with Fix. I don't think it looks.
I'm not saying it is an AI, but I'm saying the design aesthetic is what it comes across to me, and it's just like, oh.
I think they went for a more, so that the people didn't look off-putting in the world. They went with a more realistic look for the CGI.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Minecraft doesn't look good in realistic CGI.
No. It's like, when you see those, every now and again, you'll see an artist draw a realistic version of a Pokemon, and it's like this weird eldritch horror.
It's atrocious every
this
time.
This is what this looks like, but CG version. Yeah. And it's just like, oh no, just no. Why is the llama got a full set of buck tooth?
I was watching that.
I was like, what?
And I was like, they should have done what Angry Bird did and just made a completely CGI movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you needed real people in this movie. I'm confused now.
Also, why does Jason Momoa look like just a failed 80s rock star in this?
Maybe he is.
But it's not. Yeah, I know it's not the look I would have gone for. But okay.
This is okay. Like we say, this is the teaser trailer, which is pretty lengthy. It's like a minute and 20 seconds for a teaser trailer, which is pretty good. I'll start off with the positives, I guess. I actually don't think this is going to be as bad as we all think it is. I don't love this trailer at all, but this feels very much like one of those films where we are going to watch it as a trailer and go, this is awful, this is terrible, I don't care about this, and then the reviews are going to drop for this, and it's like, oh, sevens. It's fine, it's good. Remember, it's a kids film, ultimately. I know it's still going to appeal to the upper teenager, and then for anyone who's played Minecraft, right? But it's Minecraft. We know who this appeals to. Look, I don't love it. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I agree with everything. The settlement that you both made, the real world with this world doesn't mesh well at all. And I do kind of agree with you, Crash, in terms of why did we not just CGI this whole thing? Why was this not Mario?
I was going to say, it works so well for the Mario movie. Is why not do it for this? I think that would have been a really good middle ground for this.
My biggest gripe with this, weirdly, is Steve, which is Jack Black. I think Jack Black's gonna kill the role. I think overall, I love Jack Black in mainly everything that he does, to be honest with you. So I think he's gonna kill the role. But it's Steve's t-shirt in this trailer. If you watch, it just doesn't look blue enough. Steve has an iconic blue boxy t-shirt, and this has got this weird V down the middle that I'm just like, maybe
It's just
I'm
like-
forgetting what Steve looks like.
No, Steve has the V as well.
Oh, he does?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up.
Fix is the fakest Minecraft fan I've ever known. Never believe a word out of this man's mouth.
Remember, I'm just so out of touch with gamers. It's because I bought all the skins in Minecraft. So I never played.
You're playing as Chris Redfield.
I never played as a
Minecraft.
basic Steve. Okay, how dare you?
You're no
never a
basic
basic
Steve. That's what they see.
Doesn't have a V. That's absolute bull.
I mean, I've got it up on screen for the watchers
It's like,
along.
I guess it can. Yeah, it looks more like a rounded neck more than like a deep V though.
There is nothing rounded in Minecraft.
No, but
Yeah, but that's how you round stuff with pixels. I'm with
Yeah.
Fix. That's how you round stuff in pixels.
it
That's
looks like it looks like a t-shirt I am wearing, and we're showing a little bit of skin right now. Like here.
All right, calm down. We'll get demonetized.
Well,
Yeah, Johnny, this ain't the right channel for that. That's the
Sorry,
My Xbox Me OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
coming soon if we don't raise some goddamn money. But yeah, overall, I didn't love the tone. Jason Momoa throws me off completely in this trailer, but that just could be a case of I don't know the character. So I think it's super unfair for me to be like, okay, this guy in this bright pink jacket who's being very over the top while creating things at the crafting table. There's a few things you can touch in this trailer. Pigmen are in it. You saw some of the ghouls in this. We saw obviously llamas, like you said. We saw the Ender portal as well, which it looks like that's how the humans are coming into this world. Again, lots to extrapolate from this teaser. But yeah, it doesn't look great if we're being honest.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be completely honest. If I'm judging trailer for trailer, right? I watched this trailer and I watched the Borderlands trailer. I'm like, Borderlands is going to be a better movie.
Yeah, but I think Borderlands was
trailers.
aimed more at you and your demographic more than what this is.
I'm not sure about that. They downrated it. They took it out of the M rating that it should have.
I agree.
They made it more kiddie. They casted big names. Like, I don't think there's that big of a difference between what these both are doing. I think Minecraft has more of a chance to get kids in seats and people in seats just because of the nature of being a kids movie. But I don't know if it'll make it better because it's a kids movie with the approach they're taking for the movie. I think it'll be more successful. I think 100% there's not a big chance of it not being more successful. I will say that.
I guess we will see. My question for you both is ultimately, will this fail? Do you like open-ended? Like, do you think this will be a failure like, say, a Borderlands, or I'm trying to think of other video game films that have come out and just been terrible. Hitman wasn't great, right?
Yeah,
if I remember
the Hitman
rightly.
movies weren't great. They were very direct to DVD levels of quality.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like a Hitman level of movie.
But
I
not
think
good.
Not good. Maybe even like an Uncharted level where it's like people go and watch it and there'll be people who are like, I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. Was it a great movie? No, but I had fun with it. Maybe even that level. I think that's like probably the highest I would say. I'd go from Hitman to that level if I had to like pinpoint an area where the game would like land.
Just to put it out there, Uncharted Metacritic 45.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you know, you can take from that what you please. User generated score 6.1. So
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're looking at it as a technical technically does it hit all the points to be a good movie? I don't think this will do it, but I think there's enough here for it to be a fun time for a lot of people. I think this is going to be a great family movie where you just take your kids for 2 hours and just eat popcorn and zone out until you hear Jack Black pop up, and then he's always fun. And then but I don't think it's going to be like at the levels of like a Mario or anything like that. If we're talking like comparable movies, I think it's going to fall around the 6-7 for me. I think. Like this looks awful, like at first glance, but like I don't know, maybe we'll see more of the story and things like that, and like it has the hallmarks of a classic like kids movie. Like it looks like it's combining everything from Jumanji to like a Mario to like.
That's a really great comparison, actually.
Yeah. So just watching this trailer, I'm thinking like Jack Black has been stuck in the world of Minecraft. Like he was a young
They
Steve.
already did that with
did
that with Jumanji too.
Yeah, I know. And they'll do it again.
Here's
I'm Steve. I've been stuck in this world for blah blah. Yeah.
Why Steve's so
Here's the
old? He's
thing.
been here for 20 years. Yeah.
every time Minecraft tries to do a story, I don't think anybody gives a fuck about the story. So I don't think the story has any like redemptive qualities. I think it's going to be all based on how funny is the humor.
Yeah. And how epic is the Ender Dragon fight scene at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
And who voices the Ender Dragon?
Jack Black.
Jack Black. Yeah, Jack Black.
I looked on Twitter real quick to just see what people were saying. And it's hilarious. It's just people saying pretty much the Minecraft movie needs to download an RTX mod to fix the film.
Yeah, I think, again, we talked about it at the beginning, but I think Elgato posted a thing where it was like RTX off and on. And it was a picture of the pink sheep next to the movie Pink Sheep. I was like, cool, I like it. I think that's going to be the best thing coming out of this movie is the memes.
Yeah, okay. All right, I get that. Fair enough. Ultimately, I think it's going to do an old Uncharted for me. I agree with you. Uncharted had a budget of 120 million and it earned 407. I think Minecraft's going to blow that out of the water, if I'm being totally honest with you. The wider appeal of Minecraft is going to get bums in seats. Yeah, agreed. A safe film that you can take your kids to shut them up for 2 hours. Perfect. And with Jason Momoa and Jack Black in there's going to be at least a couple of jokes in there for the adults. Of course, yeah. I totally agree. Still PG, but yeah. Yeah, no, agreed. Moving on then, boys. Let's jump into what's been in our box. We'll start with you, D-Spawn. What have you been playing, my dude?
I've played a couple of things. What do you want to talk about first? Let's talk about the one I've put the most time into, which is Star Wars Outlaws. I've been playing a lot of it. I'm about, I want to say, it says on my app like 16 hours, but I think some of that's been like standby time. But yeah, I've got about 10 hours or so game time. I've made it off the first planet and I've now got access to just fly around to all the other planets if I want to. I'm enjoying it like quite a bit. Like I think there are some criticisms that I've been seeing online and everywhere that I don't think are valid. I don't find like the stealth that boring. I find it really enjoyable stealthing around, particularly when you come to like the Imperial bases and things like that. I think they're the best designed areas. I think the puzzle elements of like trying to find your way through certain caves and things like that are really cool. I like planning my way around the stealth elements and like sneaking my way past guards and using Nyx to attack one while I take down another. I really enjoy it. I think the story so far is fine. I don't think there's a lot to it at the moment. I think without spoiling too much of story, I'm not going to like give you any major story points, but I'm very much at the point now where I'm planning the first, like the main heist thing, and I've got to go find a group of people to do it. So I'm just on my way to find the first person, and it's your standard affair. Do a bunch of missions to build up your reputation, do favors for people to then like get access to the person you want. Your standard stuff. That's the main story isn't that interesting. I'm finding more interesting things just like going around the world and like listening to people and like finding like ways to cheat in Sabak and get like hints and tips on how to win horse races.
Let's talk about Sabak.
Let's talk about Sabak.
Everything I say, take with a pinch of salt. I literally finished 3 back-to-back streams this week for Ubisoft while playing Star Wars Outlaws. So take that with that. Oh, mate, as much as I could despawn, you noticed today, as much as I could get that audience to want to play Sabak, I was there playing Sabak, man. Yeah. I love it. Go on, Crash.
What is Sabak? As somebody who doesn't know.
Let me tell you about a little game called Sabak, Crash. It's a mini game in Star Wars Outlaws, but it's in the Star Wars universe. It is pretty much the objective of the game is you need to get a pair of cards. And to do that is you take it in turns or drawing cards, and you have to, if you want to draw a card, you have to put down a credit. And then there's these little slabs that like make other people pay tax, or you get to retrieve credits and free draw, stuff like that. Honestly,
it's basically
it is addictive.
Yeah, it's basically reverse poker with 2 cards. Like,
no, because poker is a flop.
I said it's basically, saying things exactly. Like, the idea is to get a pair and get the lowest numbers possible. And yeah, you just take it into
you want the lowest pair.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So
you have to get
a pair of ones is the second best hand.
Yeah. So a pair of kings would be bad.
There's no kings. It's numbers.
Those 1 to 6. I think
oh, it only okay.
1 to 6.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But you can. I think is fun as well, because it's like, obviously just the video gamifying it even more. So like you can cheat in the game as well, and the idea is to not get caught cheating. And if you do get caught cheating, everyone keeps an eye on you, and if you get caught cheating again, you then like can get kicked out of the table, and you lose reputation for it.
Yeah, they won't let you play.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, and it is a fun like mini game. Talking like the mini games and the side stuff, like I think I like the unlocking mechanics as well that they've got in there. They've got like 2 versions of it, which is like the rhythm based and the what is basically a Wordle for shapes.
Yeah,
I think they're really cool. I really enjoy those. But yeah, like I'm having fun with it right now. I wanted to try and finish it and like do a proper review for it. And I probably will anyway. Like it's going to be out for a while now, but I still want to do like a definitive review at the end of it. So I am going to work my way through it and get it all finished. But yeah, right now, I'd say for me personally, I think it's a solid 7. I think there is I think combat is lacking. There's not much to it. It is very much case you get a blaster and then you punch people in the head, and that's it. And it's just rinse and repeat that through the combat. But the traversal, the side quests, the reputation system, it's all very fun, and I'm really enjoying it.
I echo everything you said. Totally agree. I think it's the thing that would have made this game elevate to like to maybe like a 8 or a 9 eventually is a sequel where they do drill down in more of the reputation system. They do upgrade the combat a little bit more to make it a little bit more interesting. Because I do think while those things are definitely possible and fun enough to keep me going, both of those things are very, very basic.
Yeah. And again, we mentioned it before the game came out, like it has the cardinal sin of insta-fail stealth missions, which are some of the worst things in video games and should have died with the 360 era.
Agreed.
Do you both think the narrative that some people had with the game when it first got shown off of being Star Wars, GTA sort of did the game a disservice as well?
Yeah. Like I think if people came into this thinking it was going to be like a fully like Rockstar level open world with just constantly moving NPCs and stuff like that, I think, if you came in, you were not paying attention to what was being shown.
That's the press doing that for clicks and tiles because it has a reputation system.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, like even that, if you're at max rep, it happened to me today, if you're at max rep and you get caught going through a city and there's too many soldiers around you, they will while you're driving on your speeder, they will just capture you. That's not GTA.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so I do think I think maybe we'll have a deeper conversation, not so much about Star Wars, but just about the games industry as a whole soon, which I guess we always do it. But like, I do think we are in a very dangerous space in gaming where people are doing anything to drive clicks and revenue. A very dangerous space, because comparing this game to GTA is just not fair.
No,
it's a disservice to games that are like GTA as well in a similar regard, because the image people create, even with Cyberpunk, take the bugs aside and everything like that, there was certain stuff that Cyberpunk did differently from GTA that people disliked or hated, even though it's their first iteration on an open world game, but it wasn't GTA, and it could never be GTA. The next Cyberpunk won't be the levels of GTA because GTA has had so much time to iterate on top of Rockstar being as talented as they are.
GTA might not be GTA. We don't know. So we'll find out soon, which I'm sure it will, but you know what I mean. It's but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, Star Wars, I'm still having fun with it. I've only played the exact same 10 hours that I've already played now. So I'm literally on both of my saves at the exact same point. But yeah,
so
I'll be playing through more.
Yeah, watching you today, I think I'm like maybe an hour or two ahead of you.
Okay, there you go.
So again, I'm trying to be as vague as possible. So the dude who turns up with the droid. Yeah. So he turned up like an hour or two.
I know where you're at. As soon as you said where you were at, I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I'm going now.
Yeah. And then what else did I play? I also got some time with the Black Ops beta.
Oh, we were meant to play, but you didn't hit me up.
No one hit me up, and I ended up just staying in bed eating snacks and watching Jurassic Park. So living the dream.
I respect it.
Yeah, it's good. Like omnidirectional movement. I thought it was going to be a gimmick. It feels good. Like when you get to grips with it.
Go on, Crash.
I want you to be prepared for it to get nerfed.
Oh yeah, no, probably 100% get nerfed. Like it is.
Have you seen any of the clips, Fix?
Yep, I've seen people diving, spinning around in the air, shooting headshots, and
it's gonna get nerfed.
This was gonna be my next question to this one. How sweaty was it? Because from everything I'm hearing, is a lot of people don't like it, and not the game itself they don't like, but the beta was apparently extremely sweaty.
Well, yeah, but that makes sense because you've got to remember that the people that are in there are either A, Game Pass subscribers, or B, have already pre-ordered the game to get that closed beta access. So it's going to be the bigger fans are going to be in there getting sweaty anyway. Like I'm interested to see what it's going to feel like with the open beta next week. But like right now, like I enjoyed it. I didn't find it too sweaty for myself. I thought like 9 times out of 10 I was winning matches. I don't know if I was just getting lucky with the teams I was getting squadded up with. And yeah, I felt like I was always pretty high up on the leaderboards. Because I'm that guy. No, I just it felt good playing. Like it felt good to play it. Like the omnidirectional stuff is interesting. Being able to like dodge like backwards and sideways while sprinting. Brings an extra level of movement to the game, which is always fun. And it's like, it brings something interesting to like this next gen version of the next Call of Duty. And yeah, I'm interested to see like when it gets like into the hands of everyone, what it's going to be like after a few weeks. I'm also interested to see what it's going to be like when you get Warzone as well. That's going to be an interesting mechanic.
Yeah. You think they add that to Warzone?
Oh yeah, no, I think it'll be in Warzone, like because they've announced that
Verdansk's back.
Verdansk is coming back,
and you know that means I'm back.
Oh yeah, and I'm there. I'm there.
The first original map.
I know that.
Sorry,
problem, I think it's more so a problem to adding it to Warzone is that Warzone is constructed the way it is from the ground up off of whatever game was coming out when Warzone came out. That I don't know if it's how easy it is to implement.
It's all built in. They make you download it all now, so it's all built in. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they can push updates pretty seamless across the titles now. Yeah. That's what everyone's big gripe is. Like to download this, you had to download. I didn't because I had it on PC, but on console, I think you had to download like 150 gigs worth of game to then uninstall. That's what I got told.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I did exactly.
People are just stupid.
People are just stupid. So if you go in and manage it. You can then just select what elements you want. Like you could just download the beta. That's a new thing.
That just came out. That wasn't a thing with the game before. Because I remember reading an article about it that it just recently came out to console. The ability to pick what you download for the console on console.
Interesting.
I don't know about previous Call of Duties, but for the beta options, like I could just download the beta.
Okay, fair enough.
Which I did. I should probably uninstall it. Now it's ended, but or I might leave it on for next week. Yeah, I'll leave it on for next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
I downloaded it all. I had everything set up in that. So yeah, I haven't been playing anything other than Star Wars, but I downloaded that. I just today NBA come out, early access come out yesterday. So I just got my NBA code, so I'll be able to tell people about that next week. I will do my best to try and do a review like Despawn does for this. I'm gonna try and put some time into it and actually do that. I also got a code for Hogwarts Harry Potter
Quidditch Champions.
Yeah, me and Haley both got codes for that, so I am gonna try and do some content around that as well. if I can convince her, I make no promises, as you all know. She says she'll do things and then doesn't. But if I can convince her to jump on the pod for like 10 minutes and talk about it with me, we'll do that for next week as well. And then also, oh God, what's it called? What's DBD's new game that just came out?
Oh, the Casting of Frank Stone.
Yeah, well, I've already bought that as well to play that. So
Okay.
yeah, I've got. I feel like we've hit that spot again where I'm like, oh God, games. There's so many of them. What do I do? What do I do?
Also, don't forget that we are about to get hit by Space Marines 2, which all the reviews are looking very shiny.
I'm not gonna get to it. I'll get to it eventually, but I'm not gonna get to it at launch. No way.
I like if I can get through Star Wars Outlaws and get the review done, awesome. But I might put it on a hold to just get a review for Space Marine 2 done.
When does Space Marine 2 come out?
I think it's the
this
9th.
week. Sorry, it's coming out. Like, yeah.
Oh,
I know content creators have already got it. So
yeah. Like the review copies are out there now.
yeah.
I requested a code, but we shall see.
Okay.
But regardless, I'll buy it anyway. 9th of September, yeah. So
this week.
Yeah, this week.
Oh.
Are you looking to play that as well?
Yeah.
Three-player
I'm looking
co-op?
forward to that one. Fix doesn't look like he wants to play it.
I do.
It's the time.
But I definitely have other games I'd rather be playing right now.
Fix said he hates Space Marine. If you guys are Space Marines fans, Fix hates your favorite franchise.
Why is it always me that has to hate everything?
I don't know. You're the hater. You tell us.
I'm not trying to. But yeah, I have plenty to talk about next week. Crash, anything you've been planned? I know you've only just got glasses, so. Yeah,
I did 2 nights ago. I played one match of Smite with some friends, Smite 2 specifically.
Ooh.
The game's in a much better shape than it was whenever it's full access now. I have Xbox codes. I don't know if either of you want Xbox codes.
I'm only going to want to play with you. So
yeah.
I assume Dick spawns the exact same.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm not here like
so I'll
hankering.
either share it with you guys or I'm going to share it in the Discord. We can talk about that later.
I'll take one. I'll take one in case, in case you're like, there might be a day again that you'd want to be friends and want to play games with me. So I'll take one just to have it. Yeah.
Is that didn't sound convincing.
Did I say I had codes?
Oh.
My bad.
You have a cold. Okay, sorry.
I have a cold. Yes, correct. Yeah. That's all I really played. I played a little bit more Lethal Company. Every time I jump back into that game, I forget how fun that game is. We should do another Lethal Company stream.
24-hour stream.
I'm down.
The next 24-hour stream, another Lethal Company stream as well.
Yeah.
Got it. That's fair. Yeah. You see, I tried to initiate playing games with Fix right there. I just want to point that out. And
I don't
Fix completely shat all over it. So
no, I didn't. He
also shat all over streaming on the My Xbox and Me channel as well. Keep that in mind too.
It's not true. What are you talking about?
I literally just said it. And you're no to both.
I'm just busy right now, man. I need to beat more games. All right, I get it.
Yeah, he'll play Smite, but he won't play. Got it. That's fair.
Smite's new though, right? That came out this year.
Smite 2, yeah.
There you go. That's why.
New potential game of the year,
of
right?
an old game.
New game's new.
It's a potential game this year. Correct. It is a game this year.
Fair.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else we haven't touched?
No, for me.
Okay. All right, let's get into this week's dashboard then. I want to start off with the big surprise this week, which is Capcom confirms the Xbox version of Marvel vs. Capcom and Capcom Fighting Game Collection 2. They are both making their way onto Xbox after previously being snubbed due to technical issues, is what Capcom have come out and said. So this was taken from Windows Central, but over the bullet points we got here is over the past few months, Capcom has announced a range of ports for classic games for the modern systems. However, Xbox and the series consoles were exclusively skipped over these games. Capcom launched them on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Steam, and for Windows PC. Now, Microsoft and Capcom have worked out a path allowing for Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection and Arcade Classics and Capcom Fighting Collection 2 to join Xbox in 2025. Yeah, so it seems like Xbox have went in and actually helped Capcom get this sorted. Obviously, there have been a ton of rumors, rumblings about a bunch of other games out there in the world that are skipping the Xbox due to technical issues. But it's good to see, and again, Xbox are not going to help everybody, especially if it's a smaller title. But it is very good to see Xbox go out of their way to make sure they are getting games, especially of this caliber, from a publisher like Capcom, right, Crash?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's kind of hard. I think the more important thing here is, as opposed to the games, and as much as I like fighting games, it's more so to make sure that relationship with Capcom is good and that pipeline of their games is coming more so than this game specifically, I'd say. Not that I don't love these games. It's just fighting games by nature are more niche games than anything.
Well, I'll generally probably pick this up now. I was probably gonna get on PC anyway, just to be full transparent. Because that's my favorite fighting game of all time on it. Which is Crash? Yes.
Yeah.
100. The game I played the most. And my dad still has the arcade cabinet in his shop.
Is that because you can be Chris Redfield in it?
No, you can't. Not in that one. That's free.
It's free, yeah.
Okay.
Free. Yeah, no, it's because my dad in his game shop has a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet, and we played it non-stop. I'm talking, I have played that game non-stop on arcade. And yeah, man, it just holds a really weird, special place in my heart. I've never asked my dad for anything, like, since I was probably about 18. And that's the one thing I've always been like, yo, you know, when the time comes, I want that cabinet. I want that cabinet. Like, there is, and it's not, the problem is he had the original cabinet, like the actual Marvel vs. Capcom full cabinet, and it broke because he has kids' birthday parties. Some kids smashed it up. So he's got like a replacement cabinet for it. So it's still the cartridges and everything, but it's not the original cabinet, unfortunately. But yeah, I have a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? A very
specific connection to that game.
It just makes me very warm inside every time I see that game. I see Spider-Man in that game, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. Spider-Man, Hulk,
Captain America.
Captain America.
Yeah, I remember them all.
Captain America were who
was Venom in 2?
Oh,
I think Venom was in 1. I know Venom. I'm pretty sure Venom was in 1. I don't remember if he was 2.
I don't think so.
Can't remember. I know Blackout was in one of them, right?
Yeah. So I only remember the characters I cared about. Akuma.
Okay.
Best fighting game character ever.
Akuma.
Across the board.
Hulk. Wolverine was a trio of mine that I used to play a lot as well.
Still can't believe they put out Infinite and there was no Wolverine.
They didn't have the rights for any X-Men, right?
No, for games they did.
And they just didn't put him in.
They just didn't, because Marvel, the movies, they didn't have the right for the movies. That's literally, that whole game was done as an advertisement for the movies.
Wild.
Yeah.
It had Chris Redfield too. And Wesker.
Did it have Chris Redfield? It did have Wesker, yeah.
It had Chris Redfield and Jill.
Did Infinite have Wesker?
I believe so. I can check.
You might be right. 300% had Wesker because I played Wesker in 3. I don't remember Wesker in Infinite, but it's possible. I don't really remember the full cast of Infinite.
Oh no, maybe not. I'm seeing no, maybe not. The title is Where is Wesker? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah, not in it.
Maybe no Wesker.
No, Wesker.
Jill is though. Jill and Chris are.
Okay.
Interesting. Now I'm down a rabbit hole of like trying to see what Resident Evil characters. Doesn't matter. Carry on. Are we excited for this anyway, boys?
Yeah. Me and Fix are going to do a stream.
Maybe not so much for this
Capcom.
game. Are we doing a stream? I'm done.
Yeah. You might be able to beat me in it.
Probably not.
I've voice
the arcade cabinet probably, but not.
You've got your Capcom controller.
I don't think I've ever played Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh.
So you know more of the game than me. I know nothing, next to nothing.
There you go.
Oh, you're going to be very upset. Hulk smash! Hulk smash! Hulk
Oh
smash!
no, you're one of those, are you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, I'm out. I'll like I say, I'll shoutcast it, but that's about it.
Yeah,
that was before they balanced stuff to be like you can't spam stuff and like counterplay. This is like when they're like anything goes, baby.
Yeah, no rules. To answer your question, like I'm not particularly excited for this game. Like I'm not a huge like fighting game fan in general, but I'm excited for Xbox to finally seeing some parity, even if it is like 6 months late. I've just got to ask, like, what is going on behind the scenes at Xbox? We've got a few things we're going to talk about today, but it seems like there is something going on that is, and I don't think it's just a technical thing. Like we keep every time we say it's like, oh, maybe it's a Series S thing, but like I don't think it is. Because, like, surely this isn't, like, limited to a hardware limitation for Marvel versus Capcom.
I think, a technical issue is also kind of a loose issue. It's like, oh, we have a technical issue on Xbox that we need Xbox's help. And from stories that have come out with, we'll talk about it, the Italian Dark Souls game. And I think there was another game, Hack or something like that. I forget what the exact name of it was. Those both, they tried communicating with Xbox and Xbox just took forever to respond.
Oh, didn't.
And so it's like,
some of the instances,
that's also a technical issue of like, we need help. We can't get the help. We're reaching out for the help. So there's like obvious like mismanagements going on to Xbox to a degree. And like Fix said, like, yeah, with this game, it is Capcom's attached to it. They probably can get a hold easier, but that's still a 6-month delay for that game.
Yeah. And it feels weird because it's like the only time like these things get fixed is when there's such a massive uproar online that Xbox can't ignore it anymore or are finally made aware of it because there's something in that back end that like is being missed. Like, is it, do we think it's because with all of the recent changes they've had going, obviously with Activision Blizzard coming on, like, and the changing in departments and losing thousands of staff? Do we think
no, because some of these people are like, the conversations are like 8 months old or however many, like longer than Xbox has had Activision actually like had them. The conversations, like there's been conversations attempted to had. I think the studios are just too small for Xbox to necessarily care about them to respond in time.
I can speak first. I can only talk about it from my first-hand experience of dealing. I've been in this industry for as long as I've been there. We have been doing My Xbox and Me for that entire time. How many times have we got codes for an Xbox game? Code. I'm not talking about developer. I'm talking about which should be a very basic task of like, hey, who plays our games? Probably anyone who has an Xbox podcast. Oh, we should probably sort out, and this is not an entitlement thing, by the way. I'm just saying this is how the industry works. Like, people will be like, oh, you're into survival horror, so we're going to send you codes for survival horror games. Go on. Just
to clarify what you're saying,
please.
They're not really great at communicating with content creators, so you can assume it's worse or it's similar to developers.
They're not great at communicating on a marketing level. We know that for a fact. We've been doing this long enough. They're not great at communicating to content creators, and I don't see why that would change anymore with developers. Like, like it just seems like it's the problem. I think it's the biggest problem Xbox have, right? Which is like, Microsoft are huge. Xbox are a sliver of that. And it still makes lots of money, but I think this is where the problems lie when you do buy a Activision and a Bethesda, right? And you start having to cut down on certain things. We've got more chance of getting a Bethesda code than we have getting a Xbox first-party published code, which is wild, just because I know they've got other community people that are doing that. Like, I can't point my finger right now to the person I go. I do know names, but oh, that's who I go to get this. And if that's how it is in the content landscape, can you imagine how worse it must be in the developer landscape? Yeah, it must be awful. So
well, again, if we want to jump into the
please transition, please.
The Inotria story, like, again, we've seen that one of the CEOs for the people that are working on Inotria, the last song, basically came out and said that Xbox do not care. So it's an just to go through the story quickly, this is from Windows Central. In nutshell, the last song is an upcoming PC and PS5 and formerly Xbox Series X and S Souls-like, based on Italian folklore. The game's been delayed once on Xbox previously, but now it's indefinitely delayed. In comments on the developer's Discord, Jayama Games CEO blamed Microsoft for the delay, stating that Xbox hasn't responded to their queries for over 2 months. There was an update today that says they have now been in contact with Jayama Games to apologize. But yeah, like 2 months when you're about to launch your game is, you shouldn't have to wait that long.
Yeah, it's also like 2 months where you're still working on the game, but you may not be able to get over whatever issue you had on that platform. So that puts that platform behind. And so it's a question of, do we go back and like focus on that and detract from the progress we've made to make sure that's on par? Like there's a whole bunch of like questions that are being asked. And if you're not a big enough studio, you might not be able to handle that overhead.
Yeah.
Not only that though, right? Think about this from the team's perspective. Like I guarantee you, there are people who are excited for this game who own an Xbox, right? And they are getting so much hate right now on like, can't believe you delayed it again. You don't care, blah, blah, blah. And they're probably sitting there being like, that's not even true.
Yeah,
we just can't get through to Microsoft.
Yeah. But that's it. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
go on.
Even after this story, I've seen people making comments like, oh yeah, I'm not buying this game anymore. Like they're calling them horrible developers and stuff like that. I'm like, Xbox has like, if you want to say that Xbox doesn't have full blame and the developer could have done more, like cool, whatever. But Xbox has blame in this. Xbox is not blameless at the end of the day, no matter how you view it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Speaking about something that Xbox are not to blame on, though, apparently, not even apparently, this has been reported on now. Black Myth Wukong may have a secret exclusivity deal with PlayStation, preventing an Xbox release. So, yeah, obviously we all know this game was meant to be coming to Xbox, and then suddenly it wasn't coming to Xbox. Again, taken from Windows Central. Black Myth Wukong, we already know, is an action role-play game from the Chinese publisher, Game Science. It launched recently on PS5 and Windows with the Series X and S versions that are in the works. A report came from IGN and Forbes indicated that the Xbox version of the game were not delayed due to technical issues, but because of an undisclosed exclusivity agreement between Game Science and Sony. Windows Central can corroborate these reports. What is Sony up to? Because they're doing some real schemy, slimy. I have no problem with them signing the exclusivity deal, but for them not to be forced to disclose that to me seems weird and wrong.
Yeah, I think that's that seems like the weird moment. Go on. Gosh.
I think one thing to point out is that I'm not saying that Sony didn't do the deal, but Jeff Grubbs and I forget who else the other person were put out reports that conflict with this one. They say there isn't an exclusivity deal. And so this whole situation is just like really confusing. I'm on the side of I could 100% see Sony doing a deal. I think it's 100% believable. I don't think so from where the report's coming, it's from inside Xbox's camp. I don't know if it's a case of Xbox, like we're pretty sure they're doing a deal, but we don't know, or what the case is. I want somebody to answer this because this is the most confusing, baffling story ever. And I don't think we'll ever get a straight answer for this one.
No, I agree with you. Well, Xbox already came out with their statement, right? Which was like, we cannot comment on.
They gave another statement, which is essentially the same thing to Paul Tassi, and I have the quote in front of me, which is, as we have said before, we're excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. We prefer not to comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us, which is essentially saying like Game Science's excuse for not putting it out is kind of BS. Which kind of hints towards like, yeah, there is a PlayStation like deal going on, but it doesn't confirm it. And it's one of this case where like,
they legally can't.
Yeah. So it's like, this just feels like messy gossip at this point. Like it was a messy breakup or whatever the case is going on. And it's like, I just want some clarity, and I don't think we're ever going to get this. But like whatever the case is going on with Black Myth Wukong, I hope it doesn't happen again, because this is just a shitty situation, especially if Sony did end up signing a exclusivity deal, which it looks more like that is more than likely the case, I'd assume.
Yeah, I think my issue with those kind of, like, again, if you want to make those kind of deals, that's fine, make those kind of deals, but be like, again, you don't even need to be like fully upfront about it. But what with Black Myth Wukong, it was specifically advertised that it was coming to Xbox, and then for them to turn around like weeks before launch, I feel like it was, and be like, actually, it's not coming to Xbox on day one. It's going to be delayed for unspecified reasons. And from that statement you've just read, it's very much a case of like, it's not a technical reason, and we're not going to comment on partnerships.
So they say specifically it's not Xbox platform limitations. Do you think there's a possibility that they're using very specific wording here to say that it's not the platform's limitation, like Xbox Series X and S are strong enough to run it, but that could still be like a communication delay that happened at some point with Game Science and Xbox, and PlayStation was around, so they're like, cool, we're going to put it out on PlayStation, not Xbox yet. Do you think there's a possibility of that happening as well?
Wording is key, mate. Everything Xbox says, read it, dissect it, slice it up. Xbox are very specific in their wording for everything. And we know that. So, yes, that could definitely be the truth. I don't think it is, but I do think it could be the case, 100%.
I don't know. When you think about it, I think it could be the case. Because, again, we've just had two stories where games have been delayed where they're not a technical, like, hardware limitation, and it is just a back-end office not talking to the developers. Maybe that, again, happened here, and it's just like Black Myth were getting ready to go gold. They had some last-minute questions, and no one was answering them, so they went, all right, fine, we'll just put it out on PlayStation and we'll get round to Xbox when we get round to it.
This has been one of the most anticipated games for the last 3 years.
Doesn't mean that somebody in the back office, I'm going to say, doesn't mean somebody in the back office ignored a message. Like, they've done it multiple times over the last few months.
I highly doubt it.
The problem is, like, a lot of it's done through the website.
Yes, that's
like a lot of the, so it could just be like they tried going through the channels that they're supposed to through the website, where if they had reached out to someone at Microsoft, it might have went through a little bit faster, whatever the case is. I think I'm with Fix on this though. Like, this game's been incredibly hyped for however long.
It was the most wishlist Steam game for how long? I just don't see it personally, but who knows? I'm gonna Valve is gonna run at 30 FPS. I thought we kind of already knew this, to be honest with you, so not really that worried about it. So we'll move on to the next one. Philll Spencer did an interview at, where was this? This was at PAX West, saying, quote, "I've made some of the worst game choice decisions," end quote. He did an interview with Andrew Renee, if I'm not mistaken, at PAX West. And he was talking on some of the games that he had the potential to sign for Xbox and didn't, notably being Guitar Hero, when that was in its infancy, and Bungie's Destiny. So yeah, in an interview called Storytime with Philll Spencer at PAX West over the weekend, Spencer opened up about the games that mattered most to him over the years, including Bungie's 2014 sci-fi shooter Destiny. But yes, on the to go into, go watch the interview if you haven't watched it. Definitely worth checking out. But Xbox could have published Guitar Hero and Destiny.
Yeah.
Do you think, admitting this, number one's amazing. Like, I'm happy about him admitting it. But do you think we are starting to look back on, and when Philll Spencer leaves, obviously we're all going to remember that backwards compatibility moment, always. I think the way we look at Xbox now as the ecosystem and things like that, we're looking at all those positives. But do you think we're going to look back at Phil with a lot of love, or do you think we're going to look back with some regret?
I think it depends I think if you're looking at it as a general gaming fan, I think there's a lot of love for what Phil's done and done for the industry. But if you're looking at it as an Xbox fan and you see those games, you see the fact that Phil Spencer had the chance for like Genshin Impact and a bunch of other games as well, on top of Destiny and Guitar Hero. I think as an Xbox fan, you look at it and like maybe Phil's like decision to not really lean into those deals for those games kind of led to the slow downfall and decline of Xbox.
Okay. And do you think that's why they're doing this whole initiative, I guess, of putting everything everywhere and things like that, where they're a case of like, because they didn't get the revenue of, say, a Guitar Hero or a Destiny, obviously we look at both those games, they were humongous. Like, look at what Guitar Hero went on to be, look at what Destiny went on to be. Forget what Bungie is now and, you know, the state they're in, but like what Destiny 1 was a moment in time. And yeah, to be fair, on the surface, we always, I know, like me, I was definitely always like, why are Xbox and Bungie not a closer working relationship? You know, Xbox owned them, they worked on Halo, and for them to have seen Destiny first and had that option and just went, nah, we're good. Like, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, it's to answer your initial question of like, will we look back on Phil Spencer's time? I think, yeah, as a whole, I'm sure there'll be some regrets in there. Like, I think, yeah, the series' entire life cycle has been more missed than hit at most points. But I think what he's been doing for the industry as a whole, I think, yeah, helping like just kind of give more access to games to more people, I think is a good thing. I think there is a conversation to be had about subscriptionizing, or whatever the word you want to look for. Creating a subscription model for gaming has its pros and cons, and I guess we'll see in the future how that plays out. But I think just for an accessibility of gaming as a whole, I think what Xbox have done with their ecosystem cannot be like ignored. And I think obviously Phil Spencer's been the kind of like spearhead behind that. Yeah, and then obviously, yeah, bringing some of the biggest franchises to Xbox now with the Activision Blizzard, Bethesda purchases. I think as a whole, positive, but I think, yeah, there's been some missteps along that way.
I think you summed it up perfectly, Crash, honestly, in terms of like, for the everyday gamer, absolutely. For a diehard Xbox fan, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think that like the more negative view also depends where Xbox is in 10 years, right? Where their future is. Because if Xbox turns it around and it has a brighter future, I don't think the downfall or the negatives of what Phil decided to skip is as impactful in the long run for Xbox. But if it continues in the trajectory of the way it's been going with Xbox fans, I think that's where like that conversation starts to happen.
Yeah, when State of Decay 3 comes out and it's a 10 out of 10, we won't care about Destiny.
We'll forget about this. It's like who wanted Destiny? Guitar Hero? Please, I'd rather buy a guitar, you know?
Who plays games with a guitar? Ugh.
Come on. Ugh. Last but not least, story this week, boys. Famed Dragon's Dogma and Devil May Cry director Hideaki Itsuno. I was close. Leaves Capcom after 30 years. Look, the only person I need to know is we know whose name I need to know. So that's all that matters, all right? He made Resident Evil. Yeah, that too.
Paul Despawn.
This one's obviously, a bit of sad news. There's a quote that came out off of Twitter, which is, at the end of August 2024, I will be leaving Capcom after 30 years and 5 months. Thank you for the long-term support of the games and characters I have been responsible for. I hope you will continue to support Capcom games and characters. Crash. Big Devil May Cry fan.
I'm so disappointed in this news.
I thought you would be.
Yeah. I've been looking forward to Devil May Cry 6, and now I'm like, I don't even know if that game's in production with him leaving. Not that I would have known that he would have been the lead for it or anything, regardless of if he was still there. But this is kind of sad news. I do know he's going to continue working on games, so he's not leaving the industry as a whole, and that's something to look forward to. But this is definitely going to leave a little bit of a hole in Capcom to a degree. I feel like, not that Capcom has a bunch going for it, so I don't think it'll be something you'll necessarily miss, but it'll be something you want from Capcom, if that makes sense. This news kind of a little sad.
Feel my pain. This is what happened to me when when Shinji Mikami left, and it happened to me again when Shinji Mikami left Tango. Then it happened again to me when Tango died, and then now Tango are back. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, I agree with you. The last Devil May Cry was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really enjoyed the last Devil May Cry. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but I feel like as time's gone on, that game's been continued to be more underrated, has like grown in underratedness. Like people don't value that game as good as it is, which is unfortunate.
It's one of those franchises though that I think is underrated.
Yeah.
As a whole, if I'm honest with you, you know, it's not Monster Hunter, it's not Resident Evil, you know. So it's one of those ones where
it's not Dino Crisis. Yeah.
I can't wait for Dino Crisis to come out and no one to care. Other than the hardcore people, like I'll play it obviously, but I don't think people are going to care about that game as much as they pretend to.
What was the robot game they released?
Exoprimal?
You mean the game that Despawn loved?
Loved it?
Yeah, Exoprimal is going to do more numbers than Dino Crisis. We can revisit this in the future.
No. Just off of nostalgia, that's not going to happen, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. Nostalgia
5 people that played the originals? That's crazy. Nostalgia's going to be hitting hard.
Dino Crisis games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in 1854.
I'll have you know it was 1857.
It was exclusive on the original Xbox Dino Crisis 3.
Damn.
Oh, we see where Xbox is today, don't we? Like, come on.
I had a copy of that and sold it like an idiot.
Oh. Yeah.
That was dumb of me. But yeah, sad news. I'm sorry, Crash, for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's get into Guess That Game, boys. If you don't know what Guess That Game is, it is our weekly game show within a podcast where each week we come on and the boys have to ask me yes or no questions. They get 1 minute and 30 seconds to ask me as many questions as they can and to get the game correctly. Points tally right now, you have Crash sitting at 10 points at the top. Despawn in joint second with 6 points, with myself also in 6 points, with Mr. Matt P Video also on 4 points. We haven't said about him being dead this week because he's not dead. He got trapped inside a Dungeons and Dragons book. That's what happened. And now we've not let him out. Not let him out. All right, boys. Are you ready?
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on.
I'm ready.
This is your week. This is
my week. Okay.
Vic said it's a bad game that he's picked this week.
He did preface.
I think I did say that.
Pre-recording. Like, this is going to be a bad one.
You said it's not too bad.
It's no. Yeah. All right, you ready?
Wait, what order?
Crash, you first.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
A 360 game.
Yes.
Exclusive.
No.
One of the 5 major publishers.
No.
Single player only.
Yes.
Action adventure.
No.
RPG.
Yeah. No. Yes. It is action adventure. Yes, definitely. Sorry. Yes.
Male protagonist.
Yes.
Okay.
Open world.
Yes.
Modern setting.
Yes.
Okay.
Sega game.
No.
Is it a Bandai Namco?
No.
Okay.
Rockstar.
No.
Rocksteady.
No.
Ubisoft.
No.
CD Projekt Red.
No.
360 game, modern setting, open world. Is it published by a major publisher? Not developed, but published by them?
No. Not the way you're thinking.
Okay.
Published. So not by a major publisher.
Not the top 5 anyway.
Okay.
I mean, they are major, but not. Yeah.
Okay. I'm completely stumped. Is there gun shooting in this game?
Yes.
Okay.
Have I played the game?
I actually don't know. I would have thought so, but I don't know.
Would I have played the game?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's end the time, boys. I'll give you one question each extra.
Let's get a quick recap. We've got Xbox 360.
Xbox 360, single player, action adventure,
Modern setting.
modern setting, male protagonist.
Male protagonist.
Open world, gun
Open
shooting.
world.
Gun shooting.
I would have thought that I would have played it.
I would have thought both of you played it.
Oh, okay.
All right, one more question.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I gotta guess.
Interesting.
I don't have a guess.
I gotta guess.
Give me one more. Do you want?
Is it a third person game?
Is that when you can see the person?
Yes, when it's like behind them.
Interesting.
Same as Star Wars Outlaws.
It is, Crash. Yeah, it is.
I have a guess. I don't know if it's correct, but I have a guess.
I think I gave it away a little too much. But we'll see.
I have a guess. I don't know.
I'm terrible at this game. I don't have anything. One question. Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, well then just guess the game.
Okay. No, it's not even that. I was going to say Tomb Raider, but it's female protagonist. Yeah,
Jesus,
I'm just.
Desmond.
I hate this game. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. It's fine. The clock is run out. I don't get a point this week.
You're done.
I
Is
hate
it
this
Sleeping
game.
Dogs?
No.
Wow. Okay. What is it?
A good guess. It is Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't hate any of the answers to that. Yeah.
I was very. It does have multiplayer, but I didn't think that would be fair to be like, oh, it does technically have multiplayer.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It does have multiplayer, but yeah,
I
came out on the Xbox 360 generation.
Wow, I wasn't even thinking that because I didn't even in my mind that's like an Xbox One game, but it did come out in the 360 generation. Yeah, okay. I should have asked, was it on Sleeping Dogs would have been on it as well, and I think my mind would have gone there.
It would have, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty fair. I thought I was pretty fair with that, to be honest.
No, that was fair. That was fair.
I thought I've got no problems with that.
I just stand by the fact that I hate this game.
No problem. No problem. We'll do some questions this week. We'll skip out blind ranking. We'll do questions and we'll do blind ranking next week. First question comes from. Let's go with our good friend Anubis, who says, choose your video game Olympian. Select a handful of Olympic sports and choose your MVP. No repeats. For anything with groups, choose one. And I assume the rest of the team is equal for everyone. So we'll do one sport each. If you had to pick one sport, Crash, in the Olympic Games, obviously it's a little bit late. The Olympics have stopped, but Paralympics are on right now. Pick one sport and what character would you choose to participate?
What's the one where they run? The 5-yard, the mile dash? I don't know. Olympic sports.
100 meters?
100 meters,
200 meters?
400 meters.
400 meters? Like, what are you talking about, Craig?
The longest one will go 400 meters.
Well, that would be, there's longer ones than that, but sure, go on.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good answer. Very good answer. Okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Teaspoon?
As somebody who recently went back to Ragnarok and really enjoyed it, I'm going to pick Kratos for the javelin.
Oh,
when you unlock the javelin weapon in Ragnarok, and
Vix hasn't played that game. You're spoiling it completely for Vix.
That's not your fault. I've had plenty of time to play that game. That is not on you.
To be fair, it's not really a story spoiler. You get a new weapon. Oh, what a shocker!
Yeah,
but yeah, javelin, Kratos.
Okay.
I had an alternative, but go ahead. No, we'll save it. No, you do yours first in case they spoil it, but go on.
Mine's probably not an iconic character, but I would have went Deadshot with the shooting.
Yeah?
Like, he's got the perfect shot, right? He's better than the Turkish dude that had no glasses and the headgear. He can hit from, he's just like bam, 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 but he'd get 10s all the way through.
Sure.
So yeah, that's where my head went to.
Good shout.
Oh, and what was your bonus?
My alternative one was going to be Crash Bandicoot as shot put. I imagine him spinning and then throwing the shot put would get a real bit of distance on it.
That's fair.
Fair enough. All right, next question. Let's have a look. What do we have here? We've got so many questions. Let's go with this one from El Dozo. With the pulling of Concord from sales, what are your thoughts on the live service model? And does it still have a place in today's gaming sphere, or are the GASSDs out?
Games as a service.
Games as a service. Please do. I am old. Do not abbreviate stuff like that to me. Jesus, no. First thing, Concord. Surprised, boys? That news obviously come today. Surprised or not surprised?
I'm surprised that the levels of scorched earth that Sony have gone with it. I thought they would have just left it up and pivoted it while it was up. But to take it completely offline and refund everyone, I think is wild. But I'm interested to see what happens with that going forwards.
Yeah, I think if they want a chance at revitalizing the game, I think taking it all down is probably the better path than leaving it up and having it exist and eventually refunding it when you make the game go free to play. This way the game gets a chance at like a second release, but not super surprised. I feel like this was going to happen at some point with the low amount of people and low amount of sales that game's gotten in general.
I think it's been before that. I felt like when we got the initial previews of it and the betas were out and everyone got actually a chance to play it, there was a lot of warning signs there that there just wasn't any legs in the game. I think while it's sad to see, and I'm worried about what's going to happen to the studio that made it, Firewalk, is it?
Yeah.
I'm worried about what might happen to them, but I hope Sony lets them. Gives them the chance to actually pivot that game and, like you say, bring it back as a free-to-play model.
I don't think we've seen a bigger failure in gaming, though. I have to say, 700 people, 700 on Steam.
We were both there firsthand for day before.
The day before
that had
didn't
more
get
players.
as much money, but that also didn't have as much money.
They have $100 million budget.
That also like. I don't think, because that game was never a game. That game was never a game. And that studio that was responsible for it has done that multiple times. This is like you have a first party game putting out an exclusive and it just doesn't do anything.
To the level of like a Sony, like you say, first party studio getting less than 1,000 a week after release.
A couple of days after.
It never hit 1,000.
Didn't it?
It never hit 1,000. I think the highest one was like 700 something.
Yeah.
On Steam. That's on Steam. I'm sure that it had slightly higher numbers on PlayStation. I don't think it had anywhere near the numbers it would have required.
Yeah. Put it this way, they offered me a code for it and I was like, I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think that game speaks loud to the fact that you can't make games as a service and leave them in development for 8 years. I think it came out that the game was in development for 8 years. I think that a game as a service needs to be in development for 1 year to 2 years, come out early access available to everyone, and slowly work on the game as the community plays it. Otherwise, that game will never get the legs it needs to. It won't get the eyes, and it won't be made in a fashion by the time you've put all that money into it in a fashion where players will enjoy the game. Because like at that point, you're 8 years in, pivoting past what you've created, because so much of that has to be cemented at that point. It's very difficult to pivot away super easily.
Yeah. I think, as you say, like we've seen prime examples of it, how it works. Like the biggest games as a service you can think of is probably Fortnite. And that was basically just the tacked on mode that then they just iterated until it became the behemoth that it is today.
Pivot, copy, pivot, copy.
Fun fact, if Fortnite was what it was originally supposed to be still to this day, that game wouldn't be...
Of course.
No one saying cared. It wouldn't be a fraction of how popular as Fortnite is kind of an insult to what it would have been.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think the gaming sphere has gassed out on games as a service. We've gassed out on bad games as a service, and we've gassed out... I think I think gamers are done with spending money on things they won't take a risk anymore. It's a bit like the movie industry right now, right? We keep seeing prequels and sequels and films in this universe and because they know that if it has that IP attached to it, people will give it more of a chance. I think we've been in that place, but we're getting there even more so with games as a service. It's a weird one where like I still think the Last of Us game would have done fantastic for Sony. The multiplayer game.
Factions.
Like there must have been something so wrong with that game for them to have cancelled it and not been on the space they thought.
Well,
because that is the one game I thought would have done well.
I think it's the people that it would have required to actually keep that game up and running.
Yeah, they've came out and said, Naughty Dog came out and said that we just did not want to pivot to be a live service studio, and we would have had to do that if we released Factions.
Like the fact with live. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say
I was gonna pivot away from Last of Us. So say whatever you.
I was just gonna say give Factions to Firewalk and let them run it. They want it to be a live service studio.
I think they wanted to like make their own thing as well.
New IP's risky now.
Prime example right now.
IP's risky now.
I think if you make a live service game, what we've seen is people do not care if they're nickel and dimed in it. They do not want to pay an entrance fee.
I agree.
They don't care if they want to get into the theme park for free, and then they'll buy the $50 popcorn. They'll buy the drinks that are overpriced. They'll do all of that. They don't want to have to pay to get in. And you see that with stuff like Genshin Impact, which is like that game is at the end of the day is very predatory in its monetization. You see that in First Descendant is very predatory in its monetization. But people don't mind the predatory nature of those games because they can get in and play the game for free. That is the important part. Like, can I play it? And then it's like, hey, I have $20 loose dollars or 50, or for some people go a lot higher than that.
I want the cat backpack, which is $100.
Exactly.
I want the this. I want the that. Like, No, I agree. I do agree with you. Agree with you. Yeah. Don't really care about the first part of your question, Yami, because we already spoke about it. But the second part, also, when is Halo with the boys? We have a date. Finally, we do. We have. So for people who don't know, we did a fundraising goal earlier this year where we did a 12-hour stream. We hit a bunch of goals. One of them was for myself, Crash, Despawn, and Matt to all play Halo with the boys with the community. We are happy to announce, what date is it, Crash?
It is Thursday. I'm going to pull up the date. I don't have the date in front of me.
Not the 5th. That's when we were going to do it. The 12th. No. The 12th. The 12th of September. We will be playing Halo with the boys, meaning you guys, the audience, on the 12th, starting at probably around this, probably about 7 o'clock, I would have thought.
7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m. till late. We'll see what time it goes on till. Pretty much comes down to you guys, the community. If we've got loads of people that want to play, we'll make sure we get through everyone who wants to play. And then if we don't, we'll play with each other and we'll just enjoy it.
We love playing with each other, so don't mind that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine with that, yeah.
If you guys have...
if no one else does, I'll play with myself. It's fine.
Yeah. If you guys have any custom levels or maps or stuff like that you guys enjoy in Halo and you guys have been playing Halo, drop them in the Discord or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure how it goes sharing those levels. But yeah, because I think we might. We haven't really talked what we're doing, but in my mind, what we're gonna do if we get enough people is just do custom games for most of the time we play it, as opposed to like running into lobbies. So yeah. So
next Thursday, make sure they're 7 p.m. over on Twitch or YouTube, whatever one you would prefer. Boys, let's plug and get ourselves out of here. Despawn,
hi.
You seem very tired from work. What you got to plug?
Rest. Get enough rest. And if you don't want to get enough rest and you want to stay up, maybe just, go check out our YouTube and catch up on some of the past podcasts. And obviously be ready for Halo with the boys. YouTube.com/myXbox and me. And Twitch as well.
Be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Crash?
Piggybacking off the sleep topic, Pokemon Sleep is out today. You can play that game and it'll help you sleep. And
is that actually out today?
That's been out for a very long time. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it's not out today.
But it's still out today. Yeah.
Podcast reviews. Leave us podcast reviews. If you're in America, next week is your expiration date on having a vacation on podcast reviews. What's up, Fix?
the Joker, the sequel, has just got a 5 on IGN.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
Some of the reviews have not been nice to it.
Who knew if you made a sequel into a musical, it would get bad reviews?
Sorry, I just thought that was a bit crazy.
Is that what you plug in IGN?
As you was.
My plugins don't go watch the Joker sequel.
No.
Fair enough. Twitch.tv/MCFixer. Come watch me play video games when I'm live. If not, I'm making a big push on TikTok right now. So if you have a TikTok account, please consider dropping me a follow over on TikTok at MCFixer. Also, still on the lookout for an editor. I do know someone that emailed me about editing. I know I've missed your email. I was on holiday. I will get back to you, but we are still on the lookout for editors. We are still looking out for writers for the website. We're still looking I can help out with getting review copies and things like that. We just need to up our game for things like that. Have you got a YouTube plaque?
Who?
Wait a fucking minute. Bring that here.
It's
Let me
not
see.
real. It's fake as fuck.
I was gonna say.
Do you think I've been quietly just like building up my own YouTube channel somewhere?
I was about to be like,
that would have been a bombshell.
I thought you might have got it from Future, but I was looking at it like, wait a fucking minute.
Yeah, it's fake as fuck.
It's like a YouTube plaque.
Yeah, it is a YouTube plaque for Future because of obviously working with them for the last year or so. We hit 100,000. So yeah, the team ordered a bunch of fake ones, so I got one. And it's terrible. And I'm ordering a new one when I can find a decent one.
No, that's still
from
cute.
Here, it looks real to me.
I was just saying, I wouldn't even have mentioned it.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, yo,
row.
it's super delicate. It's super delicate. I can't pick it up. Sorry.
Yeah. I can't pick up this piece of cardboard. Like, look at it.
It's cardboard.
Yeah, it's
wow,
cheap as
I didn't even realize that. That's hysterical.
top tip. Don't order from Etsy.
It depends on what you get.
Well,
but yeah.
check the reviews.
Yeah. Until next time, we'll leave you, and don't order YouTube plaques from Etsy. Goodbye.